And I feel it, and I really feel it. And it's either, you know, a go forward thing, or it's coming from here up to here. And, you know, it's painful, and like, no, don't go there. Well, if it's painful, then I know it's coming from my subconscious mind. So the same for you. If it's a gut feeling, and it's, oh God, I don't like that, well, that's your subconscious. And it's telling you, stay small, somebody's going to hurt you, protect yourself, all that negative talk, that's coming from your programming. The programming that started from pre-birth. I think I mentioned it before, but I will again. Sebastian, who you've all met, I think you all met Sebastian last time. So he's 4.5 now, but before he was born, his mom and dad are, you know, talking about what are we going to name this child. If it's a girl, they had a name. If it's a boy, they went on and on for months. Finally, they came up with a name. And Enrique said, yeah, I like Sebastian if I can call him Bastian. Johnna says, yeah, okay. Well, I think Sebastian was not quite 1 year old, but almost. It was around 1 year old. And I was with him one day when Johnna and Quique were both working. And I said that night when Johnna came home, we were sitting there, I said, I think we called him Sabas. So from the time he was born, Quique called him Sabas, and most of us called him Sabas. So I said, I think Sabas has a word for his name. I think he's calling himself something. And so anyway, we just sat down on the sofa and played with him and said, who's this? You know, Mama, who's this? He called me merme. And then who's this? And he said, Batan. And he's been calling himself Batan ever since. So Batan sounds like Bastian, doesn't it? And yet no one ever called him Bastian. Not in his physical lifetime. But before he was born, there was this emotion going on inside his housing. And, okay, it was a good emotion. Yeah, okay, Sebastian. And we can call him Bastian. Great. So there's the programming that comes from pre-birth. That he would call himself, you know, something like Bastian, or he never heard it since he was born. It was always Sabas, and I don't know why, but I love them all. Anyway, that's the programming. Now, was that bad programming? No, it's just programming. Everything we put into our subconscious mind is just programming. But what stops us is the negative, if you want to call it negative. It's the limit. Be careful, you don't want to get hurt. I mean, we want to be careful. We don't want to get hurt. Right? So it all makes sense. But it keeps us inside our comfort zone. Right? And for some people, their comfort zone becomes pretty small. I still have a comfort zone. My comfort zone is bigger, right? It gets bigger and bigger all the time. So when we're looking at it, I mean, don't they kind of look, it'll get better even in a second, but don't they kind of look like rings on a tree? So from the time we're very little, we're little and we know little, so our comfort zone is pretty small. But we don't know that it's small because we haven't had too many experiences. I'll give you another example of Sabas and Yalile. We were there this week. I was leaving on Monday. I was there on Monday, so I was leaving their place. And we're saying, well, we're going to see each other again this week in just a few days because you're going to drive down to PEI. Maybe it's going to be in PEI, blah, blah, blah. And little 4-year-old Sebastian says, no, Mommy, we are not driving. I told you it's just too far. We're flying. He said, we're taking an airplane. Well, he has these options, you know, because his dad's a pilot. So in his mind, you know, why would you take a car and go that far? We've done that. It's no fun. Instead, we're going to fly. And yet, my other granddaughter, another grandchild who's the same age, my granddaughter Makisha, who you'll see later, she's such a great traveler. She flies also, but when she flies, she's flying to British Columbia or Alberta. So it's a long trip. Every trip for her is a long trip. So if it's not so far, they drive. So she's just, and not that Sebastian and Yalile aren't great in the car before this time, but they're just, you know, they're good in the car, but they have a choice now. So their comfort zone was this big, and then it got this big. Where Makisha is still in here, and that's fine for her when it comes to traveling, and that's fine for her. We flew out to Alberta, you know, and she just sits there, and she's just cool all the way, and I'm constantly amazed, because that's all she knows. And then we drive from Moncton to Montreal the other day, and she's just, you know, she doesn't want to fall asleep because it's exciting, and eventually she does, but then she wakes up, and it's still exciting, and oh God, I don't have that kind of patience. But it's because that's what it takes for her to get to where she's going. She doesn't have the choice. She just doesn't know about that. So anyway, Sebastian and Yalile's comfort zone has gotten bigger, and then it'll get bigger, and it'll get bigger, and it'll hook up with this one, and it'll, you know, maybe this will be young adulthood for them, and it just keeps going around and around and around. And I want my comfort zone to be a heck of a lot bigger than it is today. So one thing that my mentor says frequently, the goal working with him, is to become comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the goal. Become comfortable feeling uncomfortable.